Hey Mark, it's Bram here. Thank you for your patience and your understanding. Let me try to explain you how to tune that snare drum resonant head to 385 hertz or maybe 380, and then clear it at that spot. When the resonant head is cleared at that spot below the tuning range, so say below the 385, then you just spin with two keys at the same time, preferably at opposing lugs. You spin twice, maybe about 60 degrees, and that will, in the end, bring up bring up the head up to 400-ish hertz, and it will also get you to that Bonham sound that you want. Now, you also said like you had difficulties picking up the pitches from the kick, but I really recognize, okay, the tuning range limit of the app is 385 hertz, but for the kick, it should really perform well. Let me show you. This is my 24-inch kick drum, and I always like to make sure that the sensitivity is on studio, if possible, because it's not so sensitive for a low frequency. So I have to hit fairly hard. Yeah, harder, so. Okay, and I hope you can see it. The app reads 38.5 hertz. Yeah, I'm very tired, excuse me for that. Let me hit again. 39 hertz. So the resolution of the app is half a hertz, and it's sensitive to changes as well. Like this is a TuneBot, the TuneBot you're going to buy probably, because it's a newer version. It also reads 39 hertz. And I also have the older TuneBot, this one, which reads 45 hertz for some reason, which I don't understand. Now 42 hertz, not so precise. I've got another one with a less depleted battery, so let's check this one. 40 hertz. So let's trust that it's 39 hertz. Good. The floor tom, since they're on the floor tom, let me show the floor tom. I'll put the TuneBots on it as well as a reference. I'll go to the menu again for basic tuner. I'll select the floor tom. Fundamental 69.5, 70, 70, 69. Okay, yeah, that's about agreed, I think. Lug pitch 102, 103. Oh no, this is 102.5. 103, 103, 69. For some reason, in my experience so far, but I just have it like a few days, the new TuneBot is not good in picking up lug pitches. It always, or it tends to pick up the fundamental instead of the lug pitches. Anyhow, let's tune this a little bit up. 106.5, 106, 107, 70. Picked up again the fundamental, which is 70.5 now. Everybody says it's 70 because there's different rounding. Again, the resolution of DrumTune Pro rounds in half a hertz step and TuneBot in a full hertz step, so that's why. Let's tune up even more. 113.5, 114, 114, 72. Again, this is the fundamental. Okay, but we were going to tune the snare drum, but I just want to show you that it's quite consistent if you hold it next to a TuneBot actually. For the snare drum, I'll load the snare drum preset here. Here we go. 214.5, 215, 215, 213. Let's check the lug pitch. 338, 337, 212, 207. Yeah, this one tends to pick up the fundamental. This one just had interference of an overtone, I guess. 338.5, 337, 230, 191. Yeah, this tune bot is a bit weird. Let me take another one. Those are all the tune bots I have, which, yeah, is a lot. 338, 337. Now this one picked it up. 337 as well. 212, 214. So they tend to pick up the fundamental, while this one can pick up the lug pitch. Let's tune higher. 340, 339, 339, 214, 250. Here maybe 334, 333. Still again, they are picking up the fundamental while I'm picking up the lug pitch. 215 is the fundamental, as you can see. Now we were going to tune the resonant head of this one. So let me put it on the floor. Because it's easier and the tune bots won't pick up the frequency, the lug pitch otherwise, and so we can make a fair comparison. I tuned this drum head to 370-ish, so I hope it's still around that frequency, but we'll see. And I'll bring it up to the edge of to the limit of the tuning range for you, and that way I can show you how to reach 400 on feel, obviously, because the limit of the tuning range, I know by now, it's 385, and the app will let you tune all the other heads of the drum perfectly, and it will also behave perfectly within the tuning range, but it is 385. The new TuneBot has a tuning range limit of 450 and the old one of 400 Hertz. So they are beyond the tuning range of DrumTune Pro for iOS, but actually DrumTune Pro for Android has a tuning range limit of 550 Hertz. So it's like 100 Hertz above the new TuneBot. I'm going to extend that tuning range for DrumTune Pro for iOS also, but it's very costly and I really need to save up for that, and it might take another year maybe before I've got enough funds. So, but I'm going to do that, and I really admit that it's a limitation that needs to be overcome. I'm a drummer myself. I really want that solved. I tend to tune my snare drums a bit lower, so it doesn't bother me that much, but I know a lot of drummers tune up higher, and then it can really be bothering that you cannot tune the resonant head with your app. And then, of course, I understand people get frustrated and angry, and they forget that it does all the other things fine, and it offers a lot of extra features for only $9. But yeah, then it feels like the whole app sucks. Well, it's not true, but I understand that frustration. And I really admit it's really inconvenient. And the problem is the app doesn't know when it's beyond the tuning range, so it cannot auto-correct itself or give any signal to the user, and that makes it like really annoying. Let me demonstrate you the power of the preset tuner. So actually, if we want to detect lug pitches in basic tuner 371, it only this one picked it up. The other TuneBot picked up some other tones. Now everybody picked it up except that one. Let me bring the camera down maybe. Okay, that's better. Okay. So all TuneBots except this one, the new one, picked up the correct lug pitch. But let me demonstrate you the preset tuner. So let me first create a preset. I add a drum, add a snare drum, 14-inch, 10 lugs, let's say A3. Here we go. Now we've created the tuning preset. If you edit the preset here, I'm just showing you this because it's very convenient. The app gives estimates, estimates, but actually you can overrule them by pressing the pencil icon under the suggested values. And this way you can really provide your own lug pitches for a better head or a reso head as they are on your drum, so you can really save your customized personal tuning, and then the preset will be adjusted. So let's tune to 385 here, done, update. So if you can see now the value here is 385, whatever, but you can save your custom lug pitches, so the preset is really properly tweaked to the sound of your drum. The next time you load it, you can really retune to your customized sound. The estimates the app gives are just estimates to get you started, you know. All right, first we need to know the fundamental of the drum, so we have to lift it. That's a bit annoying, I know. 202, that's the fundamental frequency. We go to edge, but we're going to do the resonant head, so we have to do it again if I reselect the other side. 201, so this is the fundamental frequency. All tunebots agree except this one who picked up the overtone, but okay, it's forgiven. Now we flip to edge, and now we will be able to detect the lug pitches, because once the app knows the fundamental tone of the drum, it knows where to search for the lug pitches, and it will eliminate the fundamental tone, it will eliminate overtones, let's say 90% of the time. So these are the lug pitches now, 363, 370, 370, 370, 362. That's normal because the lugs nearby the snare bed, because of the shape of the snare bed, the head is making less contact there, so those are always a bit lower in pitch. 371, 372, 371 and a half, 363. So most of the time the tunebots agree, more or less, but sometimes actually you'll see the new tunebot picking up the fundamental instead of the lug pitch, which I think is a pity. Let's tune up a bit. Not too, I'll do it really carefully, because within a few degrees you can really go beyond that tuning range when you're that close, so I'll do it really, really gradually. Let's see where we are at. 374 and a half, 374, 374, 374. So we're doing quite well. So let me bring it up a bit more by focusing on these for a moment. So they're a bit behind, and by bringing them up, they will actually also add a lot of extra tension on the head, so the other pitches will go up as well. 384 and a half is really the limit of the tuning range already. 379, 384, 384, 384. You see the tunebots are flipping. I know filter mode is not on, but 384, 384, 378, this one is influenced by the local sound here. 379, 379 and a half, 379 and a half, so I'm gonna give this one an extra twist, sorry. 385, 385, 380, 384 and a half. So here we are. It's cleared at the limit of the tuning range, and now the app stops. So to bring it up, I suggest to, but you could see actually it was quite consistent within the tuning range, right? But to bring it up, just take a second drum key, if you have one, but I suppose you do, and give it like a 60-degree spin. But make sure you take the opposite lugs, the opposing lugs, and then here we are. Let's try to measure the pitch again. If I try to measure with DrumTune Pro, it will give a frequency, but you cannot trust it anymore. So that's the problem with the app. It's beyond the range. It will give you some random frequencies within the range which are off. And here we are. We are at 400 Hertz. So this is what you need to do. You give that twist. It was even less. It was like a 60-degree twist. And we arrived at the 400 Hertz. So that's the only thing. You tune until the edge, and then the small twist everywhere, and it's done. You're at the limit of the tuning range of the TuneBot even, and then you're at your bottom point. So to reach what you want, the only thing you need to do is to give that extra turn in the end, and you're there. So even if I tune up now, I'm gonna make those TuneBots flips. Those TuneBots flip. You see, I'm beyond the range of the TuneBot. Will never ever tell the right frequency anymore. This one, of course, it can because it's has an extended tuning range. So now it behaves as badly as DrumTune Pro because it's beyond the tuning range here. But anyhow, that 15 Hertz is just a matter of one single spin. I hope this is clear, and I'm very sorry that I cannot give you the exact same tuning range as TuneBot at the moment for iOS, but it is just that extra spin that is missing, you know. So, okay, all the best, and I hope this helps. If you have questions, let me know. Oh yes, your question for the snare drum batter head. The resonant head, you have a hole, right? So if you have to give the center frequency when you're tuning the resonant head, just hit the batter head to let the app know the fundamental, because the fundamental tone is the same almost at both sides. So it doesn't matter. It's just to let the app know where the fundamental is. And then once it knows the fundamental, you flip to edge mode and you just start tuning, you know, the lugs of your resonant side, and it will pick them perfectly. Okay, all the best, man. Thank you very much. If there's any question, please ask. Good luck.